God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide. You're perfect as you are. You're already not alone. Welcome home. God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide. You're perfect as you are. You're already not alone. Welcome home. God by many names, love from many hearts. Come inside, you don't have to hide. You're perfect as you are. You're already not alone. Welcome home. You're already not alone. Welcome home.
Good morning. I apologize if you were here to see Reverend Joe Kovach. I am not him. You probably could tell that by the hair. But that's actually a pretty good picture of me. Yeah, I wouldn't do that to Diana, but that's a good picture of me. Reverend Joe couldn't make it today, and for good reason. His son Michael and his fiancee Julia were married yesterday, and congratulations to them, and we're really happy for them, and happy for Joe and Tony as well. But we have. I'll try to do my best to kind of keep things going today for him, and I'm honored and pleased to help out in that way. So I just want to welcome everyone, and there's a couple new faces that are here. So if you're so inclined, you can stand up and let us know how you're here and your name, please. Anyone? I see a couple new faces to me, at least on the back row. Yeah.
My name is Laura. This is my wife, Dulce. We live in
Ivans,
These are
okay.
our friends who just moved up here from California. Live in Washington.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome. All right. This is Rick Kanata, who's passing out some little packets that have an older version of the Science of Mind magazine and a little bit about us.
I'm Sherry.
Hi. Hi, Sherry.
St. George.
Oh, welcome.
I was actually up in Coeur d'Alene, and your website came up on my phone twice, and so I think I was meant to be here today.
That's a sign. Yeah.
When you weren't really meeting here, but I'm very glad to be here.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So I think that's all I'm supposed to do right now, other than thank Alan for his service in providing music for us, as he normally does in such a good job. Marina Anderson on percussion and making sure that our message goes out on the wire. Diana Smith for hospitality, getting us all set up today. We got Rick, who's going to be doing our reading today, and also helping out with. He's going to be the gong master in a minute, and Anna, who's been greeting, and then our practitioner of the day is Mary Klein. So we've got a good. Oh yeah. Thank all of them. Yeah. In the back, actually, is our one of our practitioners, Stephanie, and she's going to be sitting high watch, basically just keeping a good, positive flow of prayer going during the whole session. So, did I miss out on any volunteers today? Of course, Charles Smith, our treasurer, is going to be counting the money at the end, and we are good to go. So. I'm going to let Alan come back and entertain us a little bit more. Make sure you turn me off so that people don't hear me singing. And
So the reason he had to remind me of that is we're doing double duty up here in the sound department. We're singing and running the sound. So we're still looking for volunteers that would help out sometimes and set up here, so I don't have to be reminded to turn people on and off. I am on now, right? Okay. Well, we don't really need to worry about it because Eddie Watkins here says all is well. I just go where all is well. Hey, I'm not worried about tomorrow. Today I declare freedom from yesterday's mistakes of the past. Today all things are made brand new. Hey, don't it feel good to know all is well and unfolding as it should? I can change my tomorrow by changing my mind. Perfect peace, joy, and happiness is yours and it's mine. I know it's all well, and don't it feel good to know all is well and unfolding as it should? All is well, all is well. Divine order is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well, and unfolding as it should. I am cloaked in the Spirit, I am fed by the divine. I am one with all that is, my soul is free from time. I am blessed and so are you. Hey, don't it feel good to know all is well and unfolding as it should? All is well, all is well. Divine Spirit is directing me right now. All is well, all is well, all is well and unfolding as it should. All is well and unfolding as it should. Woo! We got a percussionist over here, Mary Klein, rock and roll.
all right. Am I on? Yes. Now we're going to do something that kind of allows us to get centered with all religions and all paths to God, called Lighting the Flames of Faith. We perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all things, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. We first light the unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the benefits and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle acknowledging Centers for Spiritual Living and all forms of New Thought, the metaphysical path of a personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We now light a candle for inclusivity, affirming that those who are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding divine love are welcome here. There is nothing outside of God. You are all welcome here. We now light the healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love. Thank you, Rick.
I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, and I know. Breathe, 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 breathe. I forgive, I receive, I can feel, I believe, I am held, I am whole, I release, and I let go. Breathe, 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 breathe. No need to push, no need to try, no worry questions, only why. Surrender, let it go, release, and know. Breathe, 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 breathe.
Move within, and if right for you, to close your eyes and take a deep, slow breath. And take a deep, slow breath as I speak a prayer, or what we call an invocation, for the opening. For the opening of this morning's gathering. I know there is only one God, one intelligence, one mind. I know each person here is an inlet and an outlet of this one pervading presence, one force encompassing everything that is in existence, and one energy from which all things are made. As I breathe in, the grace of God permeates all of my being, feeding me to my core where divine intelligence and divine light resides. As I accept this truth, I am filled with an expression of love and light and of peace for all as we move into this gathering and listen to the God-inspired message of Breathe. It's Shark Week from Practitioner Smith. Having recognized this awesome and magnificent power and light of the one that is absolutely everywhere, I also acknowledge that divine light is present within all who participate in today's gathering. As we move forward to understand what being truly genuine, authentic, and honest means spiritually, I affirm that we are all open to expanding our knowledge of living with purpose and allowing our divine light as we can live a life of joy without restriction and darkness. An attitude of gratitude opens our consciousness to receive more light, insight, and learning. May we all be blessed by the divine light ever present in our world and ourselves. May we allow this light to shine always from within and brighten the path of others. I release this knowing to the wisdom, love, law, and light of the universe. And so it is. Thank you.
I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I release, I let go, I release, and I let go. Breathe, 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 breathe. Breathe, breathe. Now we're going to have Rick come up and read for us.
Okay, my reading is called The Breath of Life, it was inspired by Ernest Holmes. Take a breath, a slow, conscious breath. In the philosophy of Ernest Holmes, breath is not just a function of the body, it is a spiritual act, a sacred rhythm that mirrors the infinite life flowing through us. Ernest Holmes once wrote, "Spirit breathes through us, as us, and is never separate from us. There is no place where God ends and we begin." Each breath is a reminder we are connected to something greater than ourselves. Just as the ocean moves in waves, life moves through us, quietly, powerfully, consistently. When we are anxious, we hold our breath. But when we remember the truth, we breathe deeply because we trust. We trust that life is unfolding perfectly, even when we cannot see the outcome. Ernest Holmes taught, there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. To breathe is to affirm that life is here now, that we are here now, that spirit is breathing itself into form through us. So breathe. Inhale peace. Exhale resistance. So let each breath be a silent prayer, a gentle knowing that I am one with the breath of the infinite. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. I guess you all figured out by now what we're talking about today. Don't forget to breathe. This is a Michael Gott song. Yeah, it's got breathe in it. It's like the air around me, like the sunlight in my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I've ever wanted, and all I've ever needed, is already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air. I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. And it is breath to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy. It is joy to my soul. I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along. It is singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. I breathe in. I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body. It is peace to my mind. It is joy. It is joy. It is joy. Joy to my soul. I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song that was singing all along. It was singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around me. It's like the sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me. I am touched by amazing grace. And all I've ever wanted, and all I've ever needed, is already there, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air, closer than the sunlight, nearer than the air.
Thank you, Alan. I think both of those songs were perfect for today. And thank you, Rick, for your reading. And Mary, I apologize for the slide having the wrong name on it, but thank you for the beautiful prayer. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So we're going to talk today about breathing. If the songs hadn't given that away and Rick's reading hadn't given that away, it's kind of as an introduction, you might think, why? Why would we talk about breathing? I mean, it's such a natural function. And just let me start by saying I'm an expert on breathing. I've been breathing all of my life. I think it's one of the first things I did was breathe. And I'm hoping it's one of the last things I do is that last exhale before I go. It literally is the first thing that you do. And being an expert on breathing, sometimes I'm referred as like a mouth breather, which I think is a great compliment, for myself being a breather. Okay, that's all the bad jokes I'm going to do today. So we're breathing a lot. Every day we're doing like 20,000 times a day. We're breathing 7.5 million times a year. We're breathing. But why are we talking about that in a religious science or in the science of mind aspect? We'll get back to that later. It's one of the only biological functions that we both have, that we have both conscious and unconscious control. For example, if we get upset about something and say, I'm going to hold my breath until I get what I want. Sometimes we used to do that as kids, and maybe my grandchildren are still doing that. And you can do that for a while, but then God or your body, same thing, is going to take over and say, enough of this. Now we're back into unconscious control. And one of the things that's important about breathing, even though we do have some control over it, it's always in the now. We're rarely thinking about that great breath I had 5 minutes ago, or looking forward to that breath I'm going to have in a couple minutes. It's always in the now. Your breath is what your breath is, and it's right there with you every now. But one of the things that I've learned this week in getting ready for this is that at Centers for Spiritual Living, one of our consistent sayings is, change your thoughts, change your life. And one of the things I learned this week is, if you change your breath, you can change your life. So if we incorporate those two things together, change your breath, change your thoughts of your breath, and you can change your life. But first, a little bit of physiology. Is that showing up pretty well? Am I in the way? Am I standing? My mother often told me that I make a better door than a window, because I can block things pretty well. So from a physiological standpoint, when we decide that we're going to breathe, certain things kick in. And some of these things are pretty basic. You've got a lung expansion, which gives you a negative air pressure, which pulls in air and oxygen from the outside. And then you've got this gas exchange inside your lung, which I thought, you kind of know that that's kind of going on. But thinking about it, it's pretty fascinating that God has designed our bodies to, within the short amount of time that air, that new breath of air is in our lungs, you're not only giving away oxygen to the body, where we need oxygen replacement, but it's also taking in all this carbon dioxide, and then when you exhale, the next thing, when you exhale, all that waste, carbon dioxide, is exhausted from your body, and then the thing cycles over and over again. And it's just amazing all the things that are going on to make that happen. You have muscles between your ribs that are contracting and relaxing, and then you have the diaphragm at the bottom of your rib cage and your stomach contracting and relaxing to make all this happen. It's just fascinating to me from a physiology standpoint. People talk about proper breathing, and And I guess there's proper breathing and improper breathing. You know, one of the things about proper breathing is, and I think Rick talked about it a little bit in his reading, where Ernest Holmes even recognized this, that when we breathe shallow and fast, it's almost like an alarm to our body that we're in trouble. Something bad is happening, you know. And then when we, you know, and that gets your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems involved. And when we can take long, deep, relaxing breaths, it sends the opposite signal to our body, to the rest of our body, saying, okay, all is good, we can relax, we can move into what they call rest and digest mode. You know, so, and then there's that, you know, so that's all part of the mind and body connection. You know, your breathing is such a strong signaler in that way. But also in the mind and body's effect. And one of the things I want to get to and spend more time on than anything else this morning is talking about how controlling our breathing and changing our breathing, this is where the change your life thing comes in, can affect certain physiological functions. For example, if we control our breathing and slow our breathing and have a conscious breathing or mindful breathing, we can lower our anxiety, lower our depression level, lower our blood pressure, and then reduce the stress response. Incredible physiological changes can happen. But there's a whole list of them. Next thing that comes on the list is controlling our breathing allows us to increase our focus, our concentration, our memory, and our cognitive control. How much more of that I could use on a daily basis. It improves your decision making. You know, so having that clearance of the proper breathing ratio or timing and the focus on your breathing helps you make better decisions. It enhances pro-social, generous, and optimistic behaviors. In other words, it makes you a better person. It makes you easier to be around. And it also improves your sleep quality and your general well-being. You know, so and sleep, you know, geez, it seems like every day you hear something about your sleep and how important your sleep is to the quality of your life. You know, so controlling your breathing helps on the sleep side as well. It also increases your clarity and strategic thinking. You know, so if you want to figure your way out of something, deep breaths are the way to go rather than the shallow things. And it also decreases your tiredness, aches, pains, you know, the things that seem to rack up from time to time. And then the last thing about it, this is something I just found really fascinating. And I just put it up here as the Earth's electromagnetic frequency is 7.83 hertz, and you're probably going, you know, who cares, whatever. But through, you know, in a normal, you know, like right now we're in a, we're all probably, our brain waves are all probably in what they call the alpha mode, which we resonate in alpha mode, brain waves between 8 and 12 hertz, okay? So pretty much outside of you know, higher than the Earth's electromagnetic frequency. But when we can control our breathing and get into a meditative state or near that, we drop down into that, around that 8 hertz range, and we get into the same rhythm or the same frequency as the Earth, which is pretty cool. I mean, in my mind, and that kind of explains where, you know, when we have that change in physiology, how we feel so much more centered, and how things, you know, time really doesn't seem like it's going as fast as it was before, and we seem, you know, more in tune, and that really is because we're in tune with the Earth's electromagnetic frequencies. All right, so getting out of the geeky stuff, you know, the scientific stuff, and more into the spiritual stuff, you know, what I kept hearing about during the week was breath spirit, and what that really means. And I think even Alan's song kind of touched on that as well. That there's a lot of spirituality involved in the breath. And one of the things I wanted to share with you is a poem from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is kind of like the father or grandfather probably of mindfulness. He just passed a couple years ago, but one of the things he said about breathing is, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in, I notice my in-breath has become deeper. Breathing out, I notice that my out-breath has become slower. Breathing in, I calm myself. Breathing out, I feel at ease. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I release. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, I feel it is a wonderful moment. So, breath spirit. First thing to talk about on breath spirit is life force. A lot of ancient religions talk about the life force of the breath. In Hinduism, and if you ever taken yoga, they'll talk about the prana or that breath of life. In the Chinese tradition, they talk about qi, and how that qi is again related to the breath, and very vital to sustaining proper human function. In Taoism, the breath work is called qigong, and it's about having that balance that is caused from having the correct breathing. Bible even speaks of breathing life into Adam, the physical creation of the breath and the soul. And I think it went, then the Lord God formed the human form from the dust in the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the human became a living being. That's Genesis 2:7. So, a lot of life force type situations. But what I want to move on to is kind of the spiritual practice. So in engaging with our breath, we can tap into not only just healthy things, but spiritual insight and things beyond what we see on a normal daily basis. And focusing on the pattern of the breath, whether that's alone by ourselves or whether that's in a group with others, like in a yoga class, or singing together, involves breathing together, can give us an insight in just how connected our thoughts and bodies and ourselves are. In Latin, the word for spirituality is spirare, S-P-I-R-A-R-E, which means essentially to breathe. Inspire, breathe in. Expire, breathe out. And focusing on the breath, from a spiritual standpoint, it allows us and helps us to focus in the present moment. And what they call conscious breathing, where we're focused on our breath, can give us that whole list of things we talked about in the physiological sense, but it also gives us a sense of well-being, calm, and connection to our inner self. Some practices use breath to align with higher states of consciousness and spiritual energy, and some would say a portal to the divine. Christian mysticism often uses what's called breath prayers, which involves in repeating a short prayer at each exhale and each inhale. And Buddhist and Hindu mantras are chanted with the breath, involving the breath with that spiritual component. And we mentioned the hymns and communal singing, how that has a power in that way. That kind of moves us to a concept called breath work. I've heard about breath work as far as a healing modality, but wanted to talk about a couple of the different specific types of breath work that's out there. The first one is called holotropic breathing, and that's where you, in a group setting with a counselor who's trained in this, have highly accelerated, fast breathing exercises, and I've been in a couple of these, and they're really the results are fantastic, and what it does to you is a lot of people have visions, a lot of people have physical clearing of large amounts of stress and things like that. A lot of very interesting outputs from that. One that I typically use a lot if I start to find myself getting excited or want to calm my nerves down is what they call the box breathing or square breathing. And that involves just by yourself taking an in-breath for a count of 4 to 5, and then you hold that breath for a count of 4 to 5, and then you exhale for a count of 4 to 5, and then you hold the exhale for 4 to 5, and then repeat the square or the box. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold for 4. And I find that for me is a great way to get almost an immediate stress relief. But there's other breathing techniques available. But one I want to focus on is conscious or mindful breathing. And one of the things that happens when you're involved in conscious or mindful breathing is that it allows your body to kind of take away all that external stimuli and focus only on what it has internally to listen to. And some people consider that a form of play for your body because it doesn't have to worry about all the rest of life coming in, and it can just focus on itself. But I thought it might be interesting to do a little practice of what a controlled breathing might be. So if you're comfortable with that, we'll do that as a group. It's about a 5-minute exercise, and you don't have to get up and run around, not that kind of exercise. We'll all be comfortable in our chairs, and we'll do it this way. All right, so let's start by making yourself comfortable. Settle into your chair. Take a few moments to be still in your body. Allow yourself to become aware of where your mind is just now. Take a moment to notice your thoughts. Gently close your eyes or softly gaze ahead, finding a point of focus that is not distracting to you. Gently bring your awareness to your breath. Start by taking 2 full breaths. Now, allow the breath to settle and find its natural rhythm. Notice where you feel the breath most clearly. This may be at your nostrils, your upper neck, your lips, your throat, your chest, your belly, or somewhere else. When your mind pulls you away or distracts you during this practice, you can come back to this part of your breath as an anchor or a point of focus. But you're breathing naturally without controlling it. Allow your body to breathe for you. As you breathe in, be aware of breathing in. As you breathe out, be aware of breathing out. Keep your awareness on your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. In this practice, there is no need to visualize your breath, count, or slow down your breath. Just be open and aware of breathing in and breathing out without judging your breath or changing your breath. Just watch it go in and out like the ebb and flow of a gentle wave at the shore. In and out. If your breathing changes, that's fine. This happens naturally. Don't push it in any way. Just observe. There is nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing you need to do. Just be here now. Simply noticing your breath. Living in the moment, one breath at a time. When your attention gets away from your breath, simply take note of where your mind went and gently bring your attention back to your breath. Ride the gentle wave of each breath, moment by moment, breathing in and breathing out. Continue being aware of breathing, noticing the point of focus of your breath, without changing your breath in any way. Watch it come in and watch it go out. This breath, this breath, this breath. As you reach the end of this practice, congratulate yourself for taking this time to be present with your breath. All right, please return your consciousness to the room. I'll close with, life is a gift. Every inhale and every exhale reminds us that life itself is a gift, one breath at a time. And our affirmation today, And I'll read it once, and then we'll all read it together the second time. I focus on my breath to improve the quality of my life. I focus on my breath to improve the quality of my life. All right, thank you. All right, before we go into announcements, I would like to take this time to do our offering. So we'll just take a few minutes, and Alan, if you can noodle it for us a little bit. And as we, at Centers for Spiritual Living, we believe in the law of circulation. We know that we certainly understand that without this law of circulation, what we do every Sunday and this center really could not exist. So we're very grateful for all the contributions that come in from all of our congregation. But we also understand that circulation has to go somewhere and has to flow forward. And so we do support many local charities and organizations and Centers for Spiritual Living, what we call the mothership. So there's a lot of circulation that goes on. But anyway, so we are grateful for any contributions that you do, and we'll take a few minutes. And as you, whether you're giving today or whether you've given online already, or in any case, we have affirmation cards there as a way of circulating back to each individual as we give. So. Thank you.
And we can sing along with this. We're working on a new rhythm to it today, so help me out here. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit ruin my life, and my heart is open wide. I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I feel the light. I am free in the Spirit. I am only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. I am well with the Spirit. I am only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. I am only here for God.
Thank you, Alan. And our offering affirmation is, I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means. And so it is. All right. Charles has our offering, which we will pray over. It is with a tremendous amount of gratitude that I recognize that this offering has come forward. I know that the origins of this are pure, the energy is pure, and the intention of it is in the correct direction. And I know that each and every dime that ended up in this plate will be given forward for good and for positive and for life. I am just so grateful for all blessings, and I'm grateful for those who gave, and so it is.
So it is.
All right. You going to do some announcements? Announcements? Right, yes. Okay. Mary's going to come do some announcements for us.
I can read. If they put it up there. All right.
I got it there for you.
Next in person, July 27th, and it will be Go Deep, and it'll be Reverend Rachel, I believe, right? Okay. All right. So there's also prayer requests. Our practitioners are available for a moment of prayer today. You just go to the back there. And for a moment of prayer today, or online, you can email the practitioners for prayer at the csl.org/about. So go online. And they are ready and willing and able to give prayer whenever requested. And remember that your gifts make a difference. So there are many volunteer opportunities here. Soundboard tech. Alan would like not to have to do double duty too often. And video streaming tech. Marina's there often helping us out. She would like some help. Greeters, share a smile, share the love, and of course, always kitchen support. Help Diana out and help nourish bodies and spirits. So it's always nice to have some community afterwards, and always request and ask people to bring something if you feel like it or not. And so your hands, your heart, and your home. So thank you very much. That's it, right? Oh, where? Sign up and get more information? What did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Event. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. Installation ceremony. Volunteers needed. We're looking for helping hands. Event volunteers, day of support. Planning team, help prepare behind the scenes. Be part of this special moment in our community. So there you are. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
Will. Yeah, so Mary's not kind of read in on this. That's okay. It's almost like a pseudo secret that we can let out of the bag now. So Reverend Joe's been our senior minister now for going on 4 years, and when he joined us as our senior minister, what we should have done is called an installation ceremony. And it's a big deal. I mean, it's like a marriage between our senior minister and our congregation. But we skipped it because we were in the middle of COVID and there was a bunch of stuff going on, and we didn't have a center. We weren't meeting. So we thought now is the right time to do it. Okay, so this is going to happen in October. It's not quite scheduled yet. We're working out some of the details as far as who's going to be here and who's not. But it's one of the few kind of high church things that the Centers for Spiritual Living does. It's going to be a grand event. It's going to be really a big deal, and we're all looking forward to it. So if you feel moved to participate in that, either as an organizer, certainly the whole congregation will be here for it. But if you want to be part of the planning team, or if you want to be one of the people that makes it happen on the day of, just see anybody on the core council, and just we've been adding and subtracting people from core council. Sue just left a few months ago, and we replaced with some new faces. But Charles is our treasurer. Marina is our president. Alan just came on the board. I am on the board. On the core council. Rick, who did our talk earlier today, is on the core council, and Tim, is also on our core council. So if you're interested in volunteering for this or anything that Mary was talking about earlier, just see one of us and we'll make it happen for you. So, yes, Tim. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, Tim went out in honor of Michael and Julia's wedding yesterday. I got that right? It was Julia. Yeah. Tim got a card, and if anybody would like to sign that and give them best wishes on the card, it's going to be at the front table. Yeah, so give them your best wishes. Next Sunday, July 20th, we'll be online. Reverend Joe will be back talking about honoring our boundaries. And then on the 27th, as Mary mentioned, our next in-service here, Reverend Rachel will be talking about going deep. And now I'm going to welcome Alan back on. Alan, you've done a great job today, thank you. And he's going to do an old favorite of ours called Let There Be Peace on Earth.
I'm going to turn me down for this because I think you all know it. And if you feel like it, go ahead, let's stand up and sing out, because this song, we really need to be hearing it more these days. Sorry, folks. I just turned it up. I hope. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Namaste, my friends. We'll see you next time.